Thanks for joining me. I'd like to show you two fantastic magazines about the 1970s and the 1980s. Both magazines are still in circulation at the time of posting, and both are available on Amazon and eBay, as well as magazinesdirect.com, in physical or digital formats. I think they're the perfect gift for nostalgia lovers who lived through those decades. They cover a wide range of topics, from toys, games, electronics, films, music, fashion, and mobility toys like bikes, skateboards, and roller skates. I won't show you everything in these magazines, but I will share with you my own favorite features and give you a good look at the contents page in each. I'll begin with the Ultimate 70s collection. One of the highlights for me was a detailed 8-page feature on the rise of Pong in the 70s. It was fun trying to remember which of these Pong machines my family owned back then. Another welcome blast from the past was an article on Rock'em Sock'em Robots, a toy that always sparks one of my earliest Christmas memories. This feature on rally choppers surprised me with the fact that these iconic bikes weren't only popular here in Britain, but they were also an international hit. I always thought that choppers were just a UK thing. A 10-page feature on Star Wars toys caught my eye too because I remember how popular they became. I was too old for toys by then, but if I'd been younger, I'd certainly have lapped these beauties up. This article reminded me of the rise of a new mobility toy in the 70s. Skateboard mania was everywhere, and most kids had one. There's Farrah Fawcett of Charlie's Angels testing one out. A surprise entry was an article on the Sony Walkman. I always thought the Walkman was a child of the 80s, but it was actually born in 1979. There's also a 10-page feature on the iconic Atari 2600, one of the first gaming consoles. But this magazine has so much more to offer you than I've mentioned, as you can see from the extensive contents list, and the many items that you yourself might remember. It really is worth its hefty weight in gold. As is its sister publication, the Ultimate 80s collection. My highlights in this one were the battles between the major game systems of the 80s. It mainly features the rivalry between the Commodore 64 and the ZX Spectrum, with honorary mentions for the Atari 8-bit, the Amstrad CPC, the MSX, and the BBC Micro. Another feature listing 80 films that defined the decade was a joy to browse through. It reminded me of so many films that I'd forgotten, and many that I love to this day. I'm of the opinion that the 80s were the best decade for films in my lifetime. There was also an interesting article on the rise of the Walkman in the 80s. Most personal stereos adopted the Walkman tag during that time, whether they were made by Sony or not. This amazing cassette player made music more portable than ever before, and it transformed how and when we could listen to music. Couple that Walkman article with a 12-page feature on the music of the decade, and you have double delight. Again, I feel that the 80s was the best decade for music in my lifetime. I failed to relate to the toys and games in this 80s celebration because I'd already left such interest behind in the 70s. But if you were a fan of Thundercats, WWF, Transformers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, you'll be in heaven with this publication. And love 'em or hate 'em, we can't ignore them. Cabbage Patch Kids were all over the news in the 80s. I'm sure we all remember the Cabbage Patch Kids riots of 1983. I'll link that video in the description. And there we have it, two fantastic magazines on two different decades, both over 100 pages long. As I said at the beginning, both magazines are still in circulation at the time of posting this video, and both are available on Amazon, eBay, and magazinesdirect.com. I'll leave the publisher's details in the video description. If you enjoyed watching this video, then please consider clicking the like button and subscribing for more. My name is Ed, and I post regularly on this platform. You'll find a list of future uploads in the description section of my channel trailer. I also invite you to browse the channels that I'm subscribed to. You'll find many memorabilia and media-related channels there that may interest you. Thanks for watching.